Our next speaker is Diana Morelli. Since 2004, Dr. Diana Morelli has served as the director of the Economic Development Association's Latino Business Retention and Expansion Program, the only program of its kind to have found long-term success in the state of Washington. You just wanted to get on screen, I know. State of Washington. And it's now being used as a model statewide. Dr. Diana Morelli Klima holds a PhD from the University of Washington in Romance Language, Literature, and Linguistics, works with students and clients in either English or Spanish, and recently, April of 2012, she's very proud of this, she won the Gold's Gym Bodybuilding Championship in Kirkland, Washington at the age of 71. And from my understanding, you have also won, it's the second year, and you've been invited to participate again in the Nationals? In the Nationals again. So the title of her presentation is Mindsets That Build Bridges Across Cultures and Champion Latino Small Businesses. So please welcome Dr. Diana Morelli.
Often I'm asked why our program has been successful. I've decided that most of our success has to do with a mindset based on a mutual desire to create and live an American dream. Together, this Celt, who speaks Spanish, and our Latino entrepreneurs are discovering how to capture a new American dream. On a daily basis, we confront impossibilities. It would be easy to give up. But there are certain attitudes that make the impossible possible. To forge ahead with no one standing between us and greatness. To begin, I think the most important lesson that has come to me is by interpreting my own life, is looking at others with a pure heart. To try to look inward before daring to criticize others. There can be no treachery, no malice. That's what a pure heart is. My idea is, if I expect greatness, I will discover it. This is the Pygmalion effect. Teamwork and collaboration are essential. I choose to work with people I trust with my life. We are all the same people in Skagit County, not Latinos and Anglos. In English, we say, I dream of you. In Spanish, we say, I dream with you. Sueño contigo. For a start, then, I would like you to meet some of the people I rely on. Because as the old adage goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. First, Dr. Jose Garcia Pabon. From Bolivia, he's a recent U.S. citizen with a doctorate, fluent in 3 languages, German, English, and Spanish, a professor at Washington State University, director of our statewide program for Latinos called Esfila. He and I worked closely together for the last 7 years. He's a wonderful person. Next, Gustavo. Proudly grew up in an adobe hut, chartered the Las Vegas Latino Chamber, and increased membership by 1,000%. Became the executive director of our Skagit Housing Authority. He's passionate, loyal, a wise soul with, I'm convinced, second sight. Gladys, mi colombiana, moved to Skagit to marry a Mount Vernon detective, the love of her life, learned in English in under a year, life coach, gifted speaker, powerful Gestalt therapist, a real mentor to everyone. Pedro Perez, the first from his family to graduate from college, award-winning photojournalist, longtime community leader, now running for Mount Vernon City Council. Vote for him. Rosario Reyes, raised in Peru, educated as an engineer, community leader, director of the Latino Leadership Institute, and president of the Latino Education and Training Institute. I think in the last 6 months, I have been on the phone with Rosario at least 5 times a day, every day, working on our Leadership Institute work. Perla Reyes, the sister of Rosario, Peruana, a business degree from Peru, an accounting degree from an American college, vice president of Las Americas Business Center, a trusted professional for many of my clients, and by me also. Cristobal Guillen. Chris is a state and national Latino leader, retired stockbroker, grew up in Skagit County, executive director of the Washington State Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Anita Ordonez, director of multicultural student services at Skagit Valley College, originator of an amazing outreach program that awards scholarships to minorities for college, founder and director of Champions of Diversity. Juan, Mexican-American college degree from the University of Washington, community activist, smart, strong, and a caring friend, husband, and father, also the husband of Rosario. Dr. Jean Hernandez, president of Edmonds Community College, a doctorate in education, a major supporter of our Latino Leadership Institute, a leading Latina innovator and educator. Gilberto, mi genio de Mexico, genio mexicano. That means a Mexican genius, and he really is. Pilot, composer, singer, martial arts champion, and community leader. Ricardo Sanchez, Mexican business owner, leadership presenter, long-term board member, inventive program developer for other Latinos. ¿A dónde va el dinero? To where is all my money going, instead of teaching budgeting. Everybody wants to know that. And Laura Caillou, Dean of Workforce Education at Skagit Valley College, brilliant, warm, sensitive. In the beginning of my program's tenure, she was my supervisor, the first to show me the way, a source of continuing support and encouragement. Antoine Richardson, Senior Project Director from the Pacific Institute, primary creator of PX2, their flagship program for youth. He is an athlete, life coach, and entertainer par excellence. You should hear him sing. And Consuelo Guandique, yes, sir. Advisory board member, first Latina appointed to the Mount Vernon City Council, retention and transition specialist, Skagit Valley College. It is often said that the first tenet of leadership is knowing yourself. It is to fail with grace and to learn from your failures. Many of my friends have come here for a better life. This fact has caused me to reflect on the circumstances of my own birth. I am the eldest of 4 children, born alive after 6 dead siblings. True. Already in their early 40s, my parents were overjoyed. Literally, I walked on water in the eyes of my jubilant mother and father just because I lived. You can imagine. I received unconditional love. It's my second nature then to look for the good in others and accept people as they are. It was a wonderful beginning. Everyone can learn from personal experience. We can all look inward and backward for wisdom. I identify with our new entrepreneurs because of the many obstacles that they all have to overcome when they come here. I had to overcome many barriers too. It is a part of me. I believe in the value of education, of course, but I do not think that an advanced degree is the one and only criterion for success. My clients can and do operate successful businesses without a high degree of literacy. I think my belief in the power of these natural gifts originated at the age of 5. I remember coming home to my mother. She was washing the dishes and telling her, Mommy, I'm the dumbest kid in class. I can't learn as fast as the other kids. And she wiped her hands and took me on her lap, and she said, Honey, do you think there's anything that you could learn if you didn't just give it just a little more time? At that time, nobody knew about dyslexia, and I think that's one of the best questions I've ever been asked. I was predicted for a 2.2 in college, 2.2 grade average. Instead, I completed my doctorate at the age of 24. As a result, I do not easily accept the negative predictions of others, nor do I judge a lack of education as a fatal flaw. My motto is, watch out, we'll fool you all. Here's a great example of how these attitudes emanate from our clients too. Gonzalo, he has a taqueria on wheels, which they call a lunch truck, El Milagro, the miracle, and this is no exaggeration. He came to me in about 2007, and as I talked to him, I realized that even though he cannot read and write, he was very intelligent. So one day I asked him, I said, what are your earliest memories? And he said, do you know, I can hear my own screams as I watched the back of my mother as she walked down this dusty road, and she never returned, ever again. And he says, after that, I lived as though I were un bicho debajo de una mesa. I was a little bug under a table. Well, he's not any little bug now. He considers it a miracle that after saving $8,000 to buy the truck, somebody gave it to him. Truly. He considers it a miracle that he survived after a propane tank blowing up in his face. And he considers it a miracle that he got the loan from us. Ultimately, in 2010, he won the best bite of Skagit with his fabulous tacos. The impossible is possible. In my mind, Latinos value the trusting relationship more than most Americans can imagine. Latinos are very upfront about figuring out if you're trustworthy or not. Let me tell you a little bit about this and some mistakes I've made. I want to describe some simple ways to establish a trusting relationship with a new Latino client, ways that are sometimes overlooked by Americans, and it's easy to do so. I help new clients maintain their dignity. We have a system in our office where the assistant will come out and offer some papers to fill out. I realized by making the mistake once that could be very bad because the person may not be able to read and write, so I just fill it out for them. I found that getting to know you is the order of the day. Most of the time, clients come to me and they will say, talk about their family, etc., for about, say, an hour. We get through with this conversation, then they get up, put on their coat, walk down the hall a little bit, and they say, se me olvidó decirle. It forgot itself to me to tell you, because they're not responsible for forgetting it. Then they get down to business after that hour. I try to act serious in the relationship, and sometimes I am, most of the time I am, respectful and dignified, laughing. The jokes are hard to understand in a second language, and sometimes they don't think it's funny. They think you're acting like a clown. I make no snap judgments about the proposals. Yes, a loan is possible with low credit rating, little collateral, after bankruptcy, and without citizenship. True. I always describe complicated processes and procedures in small steps. Have any of you ever seen what it takes to fill out a loan form? There's 25 things to do. I never tell anybody that all at once. And also, finally, I never try to fix what might be their problem, like you need to take ESL classes, you need to have financial literacy. What I basically do is wait until they ask. If they want to have that, it will, but because it's very insulting to do the other. So, what is one of the biggest problems? Taking into account the need to work from a pure heart and create trust, I try to understand, accept, and develop strategies that embrace our cultural differences. One of the biggest challenges I've seen is, why don't they come? You're all ready for a big meeting. You call everybody a week ahead for them to come to the meeting, and there's food, and they all say yes happily. For goodness sakes, are they lying? Only 2 people show up. That's true. Why would this be? Well, in the first place, it is considered extremely rude to tell somebody no when they ask you to go someplace, much more so than not showing up. So they will not say no, even if they can't come. Secondly, we're transforming an agrarian society to a knowledge worker. People who work on farms don't keep schedules. Most of my clients, even educated clients, don't have schedules. They don't know when it was. Thirdly, they don't understand the need to understand financial literacy or budgeting. It doesn't mean a business plan. What is that? So I've changed the names of some of these things so they can understand them better, like a recipe for success, like it's a recipe. They assume, most people, when you see that they don't come, they assume Latinos don't want to become educated. This is definitively not the case. But our clients do come. Well, how does this happen? I call each client a week ahead, and I call them on the day of the event, reinforcing their coming. Emails won't work because they don't have computers. I respond to the needs of the whole family. I offer one course at a time because they don't come to multiple courses. They're working too many hours. And I have my courses in the time when they can actually be there. And pretty soon what happens, they get so excited to becoming an interface in this safe, nice place at the Economic Development Association that they're clamoring for more courses. And that is, to me, wonderful. I'd like to complete this presentation by quoting the wisdom of a young college student who just graduated from our pilot program, Latino Leadership Institute. The Latino Leadership Institute has liberated me from the torment of hiding who I am and where I come from. It has empowered me to speak and behave with new meaning. A flame was lit inside me, giving me newfound strength, courage, passion, and truth. I will continue to try to ignite leadership in other people. And she isn't even 20 yet, and she thinks that. Finally, I want to introduce you to some of our new future global leaders, Diana Trimanes Morelli Buriarta, our little granddaughter, Balinese granddaughter. It is my conviction that we routinely undervalue others who are not like us. It is their basic resourcefulness and humanness that gives them the ability to survive and thrive. Our programs need to understand and build on the capacity of the people we serve with a pure heart through building trust and using our cultural insights in a practical way. Thank you very much.